Nah, man. I just wanted it to sound legitimately. I just wanted it to be real. So I figured if I named it the most real thing I could think
Blue
of.
team's turn to ban.
Oh my god, that's loud. Let's see if I can.
Well, we're into the pick ban phase here. And it looks good. 20-30 seconds to make a decision. And we have Vanguard eSports in the blue, and Team Supreme is in the red this match. I don't know if that Trognar is a target ban or if they have a team comp that does not want to face a Trognar, but it's a little early to be banning Trognar.
Team's turn to ban.
Yeah, it seemed like somebody just doesn't like the elephant.
They're afraid, you know, elephants never forget, right?
There we go. I think I have finally figured out
Team's turn
the issue
to ban.
with the voice, so you should be able to talk now. Oh, should be.
That's wonderful.
There it is.
It's looking like Vanguard eSports has one of their subs in this week in red there, so it'll be interesting to see if that changes their team. I like the ban on Violet. I think Brood's another pretty traditional ban for the current meta, and I'm okay with the Marja ban as well. She's a lot of challenge against a lot of those melee heroes.
She's tough in general. She's just extremely hard to kill.
Are we gonna miss a ban here? Don't do it. Come on.
Team's turn to pick.
It happens.
I kind of talked about this a little bit last night. The time changes, like the time you have to pick. That's gonna hurt, I think, a little more than people expected.
Red team's turn to pick.
Yeah, if they ban something that you really were banking on going into that game, it's time to chat with your team about what the best decision is. That is a challenge. So we see Ignis and Cricknack both made it to the ban phase, and looks like we're going to get Malik picked up as well for here. Team Supreme. So looks like we'll see Amina for the support. That was locked in early. That was clearly someone they wanted. It might help explain the Trognar ban, because that is an option to counter the Mina.
We're going dual support, it looks like. We've seen a lot of that consistently this week. Dual, and even we had a match that had 4 supports, and it worked.
I think the support hero pool has never been in a better place, especially with the pick up support items, and Kresh got a small buff that now his second ability also helps him charge up his ult. I think Roxy and Malik are 2 very strong solo laners, and Kresh can build a little mantle of Ra, or he can go for that jungle item to get some burn.
I mean,
it'll be interesting.
You need to figure out something.
It'll be interesting to see if Team Supreme is not going to run an assassin. Right now, their comp. Okay, we can have a Lindis, but we have that Cricknack that can really cause trouble for that Lindis or that Ignis if the tanks aren't there. Okay.
There you go. There it is.
So now they do have someone other than Malik who can get into that back line, and Roxy has the option, but if she misses her throw with the small window, you know, that's a challenge. So I think it'll be very interesting to see if the Cricknack can get to the Ignis and really disrupt their throw, or if we see Cricknack getting shut down.
Yeah, I feel like just currently, with what I've seen over the last, not even just in the PVL, but just in general play, I've seen a lot of really, really clean Zephys play. That, I mean, and maybe I missed something, but did something occur with Zephys? Like, when did he all of a sudden become viable in, you know, the higher level stuff?
The last few patches, he's had a couple of small buffs. He got a small buff that decreased the cost of mana for his abilities. He got another small buff where his damage, he has a little passive magic damage from some of his abilities. That also got a little extra more damage. So with this last patch, the change to Soul Reaver, which isn't his traditional jungle item, but kind of further pushing the marksman, it just made those players that originally main Zephyrs and had those couple hundred games able to show back up and surprise everyone that he's still king of the jungle.
Yeah, I mean, I remember him always being fairly good, and then just as a character I didn't play, I mean, that it makes sense for me to not know, but I mean, you and like Toranaga in chats talking about how the mana cost has made a pretty big difference. So maybe I need to. I got the Ember skin. Maybe I need to give the poor guy a chance.
Maybe. I mean, I have not fallen in love with him yet. I don't know. I think he's a really strong character, but I had someone tell me that I just need another 100 games on Zephyrs and then I'll love him. And I said, oh, okay.
You just dedicate the next couple weeks to it, and you'll be good.
It's nice to see that everyone on team there was playing a hero that they are master ranked or higher. You know, everyone has played those heroes before.
Prepare to engage.
Crush is a little slow off the gate there. Maybe he's changing up an item build. I do like Crush running Disrupt. I think the 60-second cooldown on Disrupt is strong. A little bit of an invade from the Malik. Roxy is stationary.
Who do you think is going to make the first
damage
move?
Here. Roxy's getting a lot of pressure on that tower, and Crush has a slow clear early, so she'll probably also secure that Vision Bird, which is going to put her a little ahead of Gold on Crush, which isn't the position he wants to be in that one-on-one. He's going to need to build some magic defense early to compete with that.
How do you think Roxy, with the adjustments to her, like how do you think she's going to play in this?
I think it'll be nice to see a Roxy who isn't uber tanky. I think when they put her out, they did not mean for her to be nearly as tanky as she could be. A little bit of pressure near Kriknak, but I don't think there's going to be a team fight there. Kriknak have both cleared their jungle, and the Abyssal Dragon's up in 30 seconds. Crush might get ganked here, if not his wave cut, but it looks like there's a little bit of trouble for Malik. He's going to get out, but we have two different 3-on-1s there on top and bottom for both teams. And now we see the red team rotating towards Dragon, another 10 seconds there.
Yeah, Liliana's just trying to get out. But they are able to take down Zephys, and they're probably going to take down Malik as well. Maybe? Not quite.
They took a lot of damage though. They're not going to be able to take that Dragon. The time it takes them to reset and get back to full HP, the other team's going to have already come back from their death. When we see red team started the Dragon.
Yeah, and there's no one's going to be able to dispute that. Crest is jumping in. He may have time, but he was still too far out.
Now we see Malik is going to push down that top wave and force the blue team here to trim. See, he's got his wave clear. He can apply tower pressure, and everyone else is going to have to regroup. The Dragon's down, and first Dragon goes to Team Green. Zephyr is going to clear his jungle. Kriknak's going to clear his jungle. We have Vanguard eSports, a little bit of a gold lead, nothing impressive right now. Mike's got to go back down, clear his wave. Fresh is going to hang out in the middle.
Roxy just kind of staying back.
Kriknak just finished his jungle item, so he is looking only to get more damage and movement from here on out. He does not need to worry about these jungle camps. Looks like Malik will just poke and get out. And it looks like Mina over here is just continuing to, the net is continuing to maintain position, and they're going to catch out Mina. A little bit late there for the ult. A little bit late there.
Malik jumps in. Crush responds. Crush moves. I mean, we've got a lot going on right now. It looks like VG's just gonna take him out. Malik is still there and still at high health. Annette is gonna.
Roxy got Laurel.
Yeah.
Roxy got Liliana.
Yeah, Roxy kind of hanging back, but still kind of controlling that one entrance, that one little vantage point.
The dragon's coming up too. Are they going to be able to secure that additional dragon and push their lead ahead? They're ahead by 1 kill. Malik's going to leash the dragon. Roxy's going to check her lane. And Ignis is going to trade damage with Mina. And that's just not a position she wants to be in. There's a team fight. She's already had a chunk of her HP down. Liliana, instead of rotating towards the Mina, looks like she rotated towards the dragon. There might be a bit of a gank here.
She's got a lot of movement, but for some reason, Cricknack a little more guts than I would have had.
And Roxy is continuing to apply pressure in the top tower here. So is Liliana gonna make it out? Nope. Maybe. She's going back in, actually. Okay, turns it around.
Oh yeah, that Ignis.
That is a lot of damage. That is not a small circle.
Not quite. Cricknack should be able to get the gank, but it looks like he's gonna end up backing out instead.
I think he's got some concerns about the Malik here on his tower. I know it's a 4-on-1, but I would like to think he maybe would have cleared some wave or tried to get a kill on some of the low health. He needs to. He's got 3 kills for his team. That his team's 3 kills. So
they're already back
he's
on
in a good position as far as assassin goes. Looks like they're going to be able to secure that in addition to the top tower. And Roxy's still pushing here. Let's see what happens in the middle.
Yeah, the middle's
going
to be a really key point. I don't know
Crush
if...
just finished.
Say again?
Crush just finished his boots and his mantle of Raw, so he's a little bit ahead on gold than the Malik or the Roxy.
And Mina goes down. Yeah, this... I feel like the rotations are just off. Looks like...
Mina doesn't have any magic defense yet. If you look at her build, Ignis is just walloping her. Malik's got wave, gonna crash in the tower here. Zephy's is free to clear his jungle and catch up on the gold. And looks like Crush should be able to hold this. But Annette's here, applying some back pressure. He had an ult to try and get out.
That's 5-on-1. Here comes the rest of the team. And they're gonna clean up. That's Zephys with potential to get a kill. He does. Well, looks like Annette got it. They're gonna keep pushing back. Annette has a lot of control. Ignis with his ability to stun. There's a good bit of CC there, and I feel like that puts them in a much better overall position as a team.
Zephy's managed to steal their blue buff. And I think one thing that really helped Team Supreme in a couple of these fights is they've had their wave pushed. Look at the waves. Consistently, it's looking like the red minions are in across the blue line of the river. Zephy's gets caught out a little bit. He might be able to get out.
Yeah, Mina
heals with his second ability.
She kind of rushed that pull. I think that cost her the kill. But you see how Annette, just with her ability to control the people in front of her, just makes it, I'm not going to say impossible to hurt her, but it definitely makes it challenging to function.
Does not have his ult here. But Malik backs off and Mina drops over. A little bit of an engage here at the Cricknack.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, double kill.
Double kill.
Xenial does go down.
And again, Roxy does magic damage, and so does Ignis. So I'd like to see a little more magic defense.
A blue team tower has
like
been
they're just
destroyed.
building boots and calling it a day.
Has been defeated.
You've got Roxy, Ignis, and Annette. I mean, all all magic. I mean, you need to be able to stop that. They're gonna move right in. They get the heal and the tower.
A blue team tower
Zephyr has plenty of time to clear his jungle, no pressure, and show up full health, full build for the team fight. So let's see. Mina gets off an ult, nobody's there to assist. Xenial jumps in, a little out of position with that jump,
yeah.
and
just in time for Malik to jump in with his ult and just take him out.
So is Roxy soloing the Dark Slayer? Is this a sneak play? She started it.
I think the expectation is that they'll move back up, but she's not losing health.
Will Kriknak get a surprise kill? No, he's gonna recall. He's not.
Now is not the time for this. He's too low. There you go. Take him out.
Come on.
And he does get it, but he's definitely gonna go down. Xenial jumps in, probably not a good move. The whole team is there. Xenial's, he's done. There's no way he's gonna make it. Yeah.
That was a tough spot to be for him. Deep under enemy lines. And look at again the red minions. They're just crashing in the towers on bottom. They're well across the river on top, and just letting the Team Supreme here push up the middle with their wave as well. It's a tough place to be for the blue team. You know, you want to group up and take part in these team fights, but you also need to keep these waves pushed to allow you to rotate. And it looks like Zephy's soloed the Abyssal during this time, almost playing his own game, but still helping out the team.
Yeah, and I feel like it's almost
a blue team tower has
worse
been
that that team specifically got the dragon buff versus the damage buff.
I think they would have benefited from having advantages in the team fight.
Yeah.
I feel like they're just not getting enough damage. I think they're still a little behind on gold for some of these fights where they're not engaging poorly. They're engaging together when they have that shot there. They're just not built up enough to win these fights. And Team Supreme, their gold advantage and item advantage, it shows. Here they go with the minions. And Zephy's is still, he's clearing the red buff. You know, he's keeping their jungle starved. And the four of them would have been able to keep a front up and let him just clear off the map. And here he comes in.
Alright,
I don't want to be
Malik
Kriknak
jumps
right
in.
here.
I mean, you're in a situation where you can essentially just tank the core, and they can clear it. There's really no stopping this at that point. And the core is going to go down.
First game, Team Supreme.
$22 kills to 4. That's a tough finish. It's interesting. Nani on Zephys. We've got Active Frost on Ignis, Gadu on Annette. The three of them were all pretty close as far as their actual score, but you can see that their function as players were quite different. I'm trying to get a better grasp of what the adjustments to the scoring system have created as far as the actual MVPs and, you know, where those numbers come from. But it seems to be a little more accurate, in my opinion anyway, now versus then.
Looking at the damage on that Kriknak and Liliana, as soon as they were out of the fight, it made it really tough for the Vanguard team to try and compete with those fights. And look at the Team Supreme, their damage is really spread out. There wasn't any one person. Ignis clearly with the most damage, but across the board, they're almost pretty much even with their Annette. Annette did a surprisingly high amount of damage.
So lobby ID is going to be 1660. Man, so okay, you're on the losing side. I mean, you can know. We're just gonna remove you if you join it. So if you're on the losing side, what do you do to respond to that? You got hurt. You got beat up pretty bad. How do you react? Bans specifically?
The important thing to remember is that game's over. We're in our second game here. It's different heroes. You know, the beauty of Arena of Valor and these MOBAs is that the game starts at the same square one. It's a complete new land of opportunities. They got the first dragon in the last game. None of that matters anymore. This is a whole new game, and you now have a little understanding of what didn't work, so you're only in a stronger position.
Yeah, fair enough.
You know, we saw that Kriknak seemed to have some effectiveness, but we saw that their mage middle and their Mina their support hero was taking a lot of damage. So maybe that's something that they transition with and go, versus that magic damage comp nearly. Maybe we try a different support or a different build.
Yeah, I feel like their whole setup didn't really. I'm not gonna say it wasn't viable, but it did not go as planned. I mean, I really expected the Kriknak to be able to get a little bit more done, but it seemed like every time he jumped in, I mean, not against him, but it simply, there was no good time. I mean, when they were low health, they were all grouped, and he got swarmed. When they weren't low health, they were full health. So you don't want to jump in and try to snipe somebody.
I would have loved to see Crush be able to get his ult off to engage and not to save a teammate. I think there were a few times where he was saving it for that team fight. When the team fight started, he needed to use it to try and save a teammate instead of trying to take an objective or to try and take the dragon. I think that was something that was a challenge for them because Crush was their big frontliner tank, and Xenio had a few good ults as well. I don't think the Xenio missed any ults per se, but again, he had to use them more defensively to try and save people under his own towers, not split pushing and trying to ult back to get a 5-on. I think the important team for the team that came out on top is that they won, and to set that aside, a winning game one is not a promise of a winning game two. I think that's an important thing, just as much as the team that did not take their opponent's score, the team that lost that match. A brand new game for them. It's a brand new game for the team who won. So 30 seconds on that first ban, it's like plenty of time to make a good.
I still feel like the best options there are tanks. And maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think Aram was banned last time.
I do not remember an Aram ban or an Aram being played. So she was completely open. There's the Yin Bath ban.
Yeah, that would have been a huge. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say that would have been a huge win for VG, and that really would have responded to a lot that Supreme had going on. It's definitely a smart ban from Team Supreme.
Team's turn to ban.
Like we agreed upon earlier, Marja has a tricky kit to play against. She has a lot of good poke and a lot of good escape. Ignis ban, that sounds about right. Ignis caused him trouble last game. Let's take him off the table. That's a great pick there.
Turn to ban.
Right. Violet Dunzo. How do you finish it off? The expectation is they're gonna take Malik first, because they seem to do that in every single game they play.
To pick.
Maybe we'll get surprised.
I like the Cricknack ban. The Cricknack was pretty dangerous last game. He stole one of the objectives. He had a high percentage of damage. How about the Scud though, huh?
Nah, man.
Well, right back to Malik.
Yeah, I guarantee every single time they're gonna pick Malik. It's a leader thing. Let's see. Roxy. I don't think Roxy was a bad pick for them. Chris,
I think the
you're
Roxy
missing your
did a nice
chance.
job of applying lane pressure.
I don't think that Maganga was what they wanted.
Maybe it's Tank Maganga getting a chance to play.
I feel like with Annette still out there and her ability to get that control done, I would have either banned her, that's just me personally, or I would have picked her.
I think that Maganga is going to have a little trouble with the mobility from Flash, and a Fennec pick. There's something that we haven't seen in a while.
Yeah.
And a Nacross pick and a Zuka.
Red team's turn.
There's that crash.
To pick.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I feel like from my standpoint, I mean, Malik has too much that plays against Crushed for me to consider that. I mean, I just feel like Malik is just gonna melt him.
Malik with that true damage on the cleave. Crush can get that massive shield, but true damage doesn't care if you have a shield or not. It's right to your health point. So I think that Malik is a little stronger against Crushed, and we'll see how that plays out. I'd like to see the Fennec take some towers early. I'd like to see him get his first ability off and really melt a few of those. I'd like to see this game in early. If I was team Vanguard here, I don't want it to go late game. I don't want the Flash and the Malik to see how they scale. I want to end early. Falls.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna have to do something. I mean, the
10
Zuka
seconds
is
remaining.
brutal. I mean, as somebody, I play, I'm obviously mage and support on the regs. Zuka is the devil, man. I am not a fan of Zuka just because I get beaten down on the regular.
I'm always impressed with his mobility. He has 4 separate options to jump around, through, over, and get to you around those walls, through those walls. And then he cues off his passive once, every other minute? Just wallops you.
Yeah. Well, if he's a beginner Maganga player, then it was definitely a pick that he actually chose. I'm curious to see how that plays out.
And last game we had the Crush running Disrupt. This game we have the Crush running Execute.
Get ready. Minions will be deployed in 5 seconds.
Jerry, is there a button you push to get it to follow that hero?
If you click on their picture, it will follow them.
That is fantastic.
Happy to help.
I was just trying to drag it around hoping you were going to save me last game.
No, and also top right, the little square, if you click that, it zooms out and gives you a heck of a lot more vision.
This is fantastic. I have all the power now.
Alright, so we've got Supreme functioning as a team. They're moving, their rotations are still on point. We've got, Nacroth. And for those that don't know Nani is a fantastic jungle player. He's been on a couple of teams. A lot of people are familiar with him. He's really, really interesting to watch.
Teamy's about half health here. He might go down. Fennec has enough damage. He just pulls out of the fight, which is a really good call, but there might be a little invade here. I count 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a 4-on-1. Does he get out? Man.
Yeah, Nacroft with no mana got that buff just in time. It looks like they're not going to engage. But Malik is there.
And they want to.
Yeah, there's still potential for a gank. Flash right there.
Zuka's still pushing top, dragging up in 10 seconds here. Everyone's at about a little too low health for my comfort.
Yeah, Roxy rotates up just to kind of maintain that tower, but they're both just ready for this dragon. Curious to see how this pans out.
In. They're a little separated. I know if you're Nacroft, it's not a big deal. You have lots of mobility issues, but Fennec rotated over to where he was escaping. That was tough.
Yeah, he goes down. Crush taking a little bit of heat. Got Teamy Malik. VG should be able to get this.
What you missed was Zuka almost killed Roxy middle. She was rotating over to help, and he just clobbered her.
Yeah, Flash is low. Malik is mid. Teamy is definitely going down, I think. Yeah, he's done. Right before he got his ult too.
The dragon's been reset. We've got a couple of rough kills deep in enemy territory, but the dragon's still up. Everyone still has their towers. The gold lead is non-existent. 100 gold isn't anything right now. So let's see what happens, how this plays out. Nacroft has some jungle up. Maganga's going to recall for mana. Mita probably needs a little mana. Flash is going to recall. It's almost back to right at the beginning of the game, except looking like a lot of the players are at level 4 here. Everyone's hit that power spike. Everyone has their ultimate off. No one doesn't. So this could be a fight any way you swing it. A little bit of damage back and forth here with the Malik and Crush, but nothing committed.
Oh, look! I thought Mina was going down. Yeah, don't think this is a fight that VG needs to engage in, but I don't know that Supreme's going to give him a chance to do anything else. And they jump right in. Malik is ready. They take down those minions. They're going to get covered. This tower is not going to make it.
I would have liked to have seen Crush get up there with the Malik. That when Malik came up, see, Crush still has his ult, which is a good place to be if you're Crush, but his team could have used a little assistance there.
Yeah, they're still...
And look at just taking their jungle.
And those little gaps like that are what can separate you early game. Mina,
let's see.
Mina, Teamy, just do it. I mean, nothing's gonna happen there. I wouldn't expect. But we got a little push coming again from Supreme.
Flash still has his ult up, and Mina still has her ult up, and that's not a position that I want to be in for either team.
Yeah, Nacroft about to get another clear on that side of the jungle. I feel like he's just going to move right in and they're going to push this dragon. Yeah, VG definitely is not in a good position. Maybe they can get the Abyssal, but here's that Flash ult. I thought it was coming.
And again, Zuka and Roxy having their own solo fight
Mina,
up there.
can she get away? Flash ult is going to take her out. We've got... Oh man, there's so much going on. I can't even keep track. Fennec jumps in, trying to get some damage, but
we're seeing all these 1v1s. Malik first crashed, Flash first Fennec. We have these two trading damage. We have almost 4 separate individual fights, and the dragon still goes to blue team here. Everyone still has their towers, though. Yeah, Team Supreme, not a bad place to be. You still have your towers. You don't want to start beating yourself up. You're about even on kills. You're a little behind on gold, but you have your towers. You have plenty of time to make different in-game decisions there. Team you with the stun,
and they're gonna take her out fast. I mean, just almost instantly. But Nacroft ends up going down in the process. You got Maganga.
But Teamy popped his ult and revived him. So yeah. Nacroft died for it, but the Teamy was clutch there.
I did not even
look
see
at Nacroft
there.
Nacroft right into just taking their jungle. No interest in anything else there. He goes for a kill, dies for it, Teamy revives, takes their buff, leaves.
And And that's, I mean, that's
Maybe gets another kill.
definitely just clean, clear communication.
Get up to speed.
Teamy was really prime at that ult. There was a very small window to save your teammate. Malik burned his ult there. I'm not sure if he was trying to escape or if he was seeing something the team wasn't. And you know, Teamy's really put a lot of pressure on this Maganga. He has consistently just primed his stun and ran out of those bushes, and Flash has been able to poke him down. Looks like a little bit of trouble here for Zuka.
Done.
So Maganga's having the recall again. It's that poke damage from the Teamy and the Flash. Fennec finally going to melt some towers.
A blue
little
team
bit more
tower has
action.
been destroyed.
We've got the Dragon up, and neither team has strong position. Malik might just reset it, but no progress there. And Fennec might be in trouble if Teamy comes in again. Oh, he missed his first stun. Looks like there's a little bit of position on the Dragon.
Not enough though. I mean, Maganga's. I mean, everybody's just scattered. It's actually really hard to clearly cast because you don't know who's gonna do what.
I keep feeling like somebody's about to make a play, and okay, so we've got the Dragon started. We have 4 there. We can see
And it's going down
everyone's a little
fast.
spread out.
Mina's there-ish, but I don't think, yeah, Supreme just took that thing down really fast. And then they're gonna jump right in. They're kill after kill. And they're
Kudos to Roxy for pushing down the top tower, and then she again continued to rotate right into the fight in the middle. Here comes Zukin a little late, missed his ult, pulls out. Macross trading damage with Crush here.
I don't think that's the best move. He's gonna end up going down, yeah.
Does that execute? And we've got Zuka maybe going to trade towers top. Looks like Roxy will get there in time.
I don't know that Zuka's gonna be able to stop her. Yeah, she's even with the adjustment to her hit points, she still has quite a bit. Flash.
She's a little tankier than that Zuka. The Flash is untargetable on that ult. That was a good use of his ult there. We're gonna lose another tower. Fennec's coming over a little late here.
He's trying to get it off, but what ended up happening is it just set him up to.
A red team tower
another
has been destroyed.
Look at this pressure by Malik. Completely ignores the crash, lets the minion just hang in there and just focuses on the tower.
Destroyed.
That's not a criticism toward the team, but I've run into a lot of situations with Malik and Crest where Crest just cannot hang.
Team is controlling these bushes here. That golem's going to reset. You know, that's time where Teamy has vision on 2 or 3 of the teammates. You can see Zuka's going to be able to poke top, and look at the blue minions again. Blue minions are coming up on the 10-minute point. They are coming across the lake, the river.
And
A red team tower has been
Enraged
destroyed.
Abyssal is up, Dark Slayer is up.
Again, we had Crush need to burn his ult to get out of a fight. You know, that's not the position you want to be in as that tank.
Yeah, Fennec goes down quickly. Teamy just standing under tower without a lot of concern. Flash blowing his ult maybe a little early.
Teamy's got that revive, so only time he gets to use it is if you're about to die. And he did not save his teammates there. Maybe there's a little bit of a miscommunication. Maybe that Maganga finally showing up with the poison damage. No one was ready. Malik again able to.
And they're just gonna move right into the Slayer while the other team's not there. Probably their best chance to turn this around. Yeah.
If we can get the jungler with them and not let Teamy come over and cause a ruckus, because Teamy's about to get vision, and it'll be interesting to see how we get the blue team here to react. I forget if they're Supreme or VG again.
They are able to take it down, maybe a little faster than Teamy expected.
That's that Fennec. He can really get some attack speed. But look at Malik here. He's continuing that lane pressure. They're going to have to rotate and adjust for that.
Yeah, they are.
So that's pulling Crush, their tank, away from the fight here.
PG definitely out of position, and they are getting hurt because of it. They need to really group up and honestly just push lanes.
We still have the enraged Abyssal Dragon up. You know, that's not a bad objective to be looking at here.
I feel like VG really needs to take advantage of this Dark Slayer buff while they have it. They're going to have that debuff for a good bit longer. And yeah, Crash.
That's the ult that I'd like to see.
And is he going to take? He is able to take the teamie out. That was.
So it's a 2-on-1. If you're in that situation, what are you going for? You have the dragon. You know, you've got the Fennec who can melt the towers. I'm thinking go for the towers. You know, we're looking at another 10, 15 seconds. You can get 2 towers and then be enraged if that's what you wanted with that Fennec. And he's still holding on to the buff. Remember in this last patch, if you don't use that Drake, the Great Dragon, you don't get it. And Malik is forced to rotate. His waves aren't pushed again. You know, that's a tough place to be.
They may. Nah.
A blue team tower has
Looks
been
like
destroyed.
Nacroth is right there. He's in prime position to take that Abyssal Dragon, and I think he's going to do it.
The crashed
He
ult up.
does. Oh, does he? No, he doesn't. Oh, wow. Looks like VG is able to take the Abyssal. I honestly...
Mina got the buff.
Yeah, that was... That's kind of a surprise. I really thought, knowing the player and his skill on Nacroth, I really thought he was going to be able to get that.
He didn't quite manage to steal the dragon, but he did take out Fennec, which is their marksman. So that doesn't make it a fun team fight when you don't have that poke damage, that range. And now it's a Maganga, a Crush, a Roxy, a Mina, all people who want to get right up close to you. Malik's going to cut this wave here behind the Crush, so if you're Crushed, you know he's there. Zuka's here. See if Teamy can get another good stun off, or if Mita can pull that Teamy in and set her team up the push. Not the death push. Teamy's prime is stun.
This is going to be tough. Crash walks right in.
Malik
It's just going to be a
ult.
madhouse. Crash ults. He's able to take out... I don't even know who's winning at this point. Flash does go down. Nacroth
Mina's got to get in there. She's got her buff. She can survive. She can get killed once. You know, she can get a lot more aggressive for that fight.
Yeah,
Nacroth's a little too squishy.
There's a lot more health on the VG side, but like you said, without the damage, they're really neither team in the best position at this point.
Nacroth again trading damage with the Crush. He's going in for it.
Sometimes
he's got some life
you just
steal.
gotta believe, man. Mina is there. Roxy gonna rotate up. Malik just trying to keep vision, keep waves cleared. I don't know that.
Come on, hook him.
Yeah, so, but he is able to get away. I don't think any position is ever a good position when you're basically the only person there. Crushed throws his ult down. You got Flash, you got Teamy, you got Nacroth, you got Malik. You need to get out, and he is gonna go down.
What you don't have is wave cleared middle. Middle minions are just poking that tower. And they pulled out a little bit there. And Fennec, we need Fennec to help his team in some of these fights. Nacroth has done a good job of getting back there and clobbering him, even with that.
They knock out Malik's ult, put him in a terrible position. He's trying to get shields to get away, and he is able to do so. Good play on Malik. Meanwhile,
Zuka with the strong split push and the buff steal.
Yeah, Zuka's really got his map awareness at 10, because that's going to force the entire VG team to rotate back. Or maybe
and again,
just
if your win condition, in those fights are to take out the the ADC, Macross has time and time again gotten back there and focused on Fennec and taking him out. And kudos to that Zuka for getting his passive off to get that damage bonus to that Maganga.
So Supreme has waves pushed forward. The Dark Slayer is up. Do you go for it, or do you continue to push?
I'd like to just push the waves, and I'd like to starve their jungle. You have a comparable gold lead, and we're getting to late enough in the game where that gold lead doesn't matter. Both teams are almost full build. If I can end it now, I want to end it now. And I think the best way to do that is to keep them starved and keep them locked in where you can see them. If there's someone on your team who can solo that dragon, let them solo it. You know, don't all show up, because as soon as the other team sees we can't see anyone on the map, everyone knows where you are. You know, you're taking the dragon.
Oh, now we've got a team fight. Zuka takes out Fennec. Got more heat coming. Mina goes down.
Crush rotates over. Big old on flash.
Crushed is there, but Malik is right there too.
I
I'm
think
just not
Malik's
sure
ult was just
with the
a
health
little
that Crushed
tough there.
has. Yeah,
A red team tower has
Definitely.
been
Look at Zuka
destroyed.
again.
definitely don't want to force something in a situation like that. Crushed ult right now. His health is just crazy high. Look,
We got the red buff picked up. We got flash, little poke damage. He might go down there with the poison from Maganga.
yeah, and you pretty much have everyone not quite at full build, but everyone's so developed at this point. Gold is becoming, like you said, it's just much less of an issue, and now it's just going to rely on skill and positioning.
I think the team with their waves better pushed is gonna come off on the stronger end of these team fights, because both teams are one tower from the core. I know that
Crash going to try to
teams-
steal this thing. He is able to do it. Crash just rolls right in and just takes it from him, and that's not.
Malik takes out Crushed.
Yeah, and then Mina's gonna go down. We got Roxy trying to get there, but she's not. She's a little bit too late. Now she's just stuck. She's not in a good spot. She gets a little bit of damage off. She's healing, but they just have her completely swarmed. And it looks like they're just gonna just roll right through, take that core, regardless of health. Yeah, it doesn't take much.
A red team tower has
Oh man, that's tough for VG. They played a much stronger game, but Supreme in game one, I feel like Supreme just had the rotations down and it put them in better positioning. This time, I feel like the biggest issue was trying to, like, Crushed. I'll give you props for jumping in while they're taking the dragon and stealing it, but without you, your team is in bad shape moving forward.
Look at the damage by the Roxy. Roxy has 33% of her team's damage.
Ooh, yeah.
You know, Fennec was almost a non-factor as far as team damage. You know, that's tough to not have your ADC in those fights, and to have those drawn-out fights and just be standing on her fire gave her lots of opportunity to burn people down. You know, there were several times where he was low health or he was trading damage, but you know, Malik didn't get full build either.
And to the people asking, Kranaz is playing, or my bad,